Hello, folks. My name is Sam. I'm from Maui, Hawaii. Welcome to the Unity Podcast, where I hope to bring a sense of community in these challenging times by talking to people across the country and delivering hope. My aim is to connect people so that they do not feel alone and that we do not let our fears consume us. Today, I'm joined by my friend Aaron and my cousin Eliza, who's in New York.
Yeah, so I think everyone is getting a little more aware here and definitely panic, and it's creating a lot of chaos and just our organized in our organization. Like we have, I don't know how many million people in the city, and yeah, it can get pretty chaotic really fast. Uh, we already, I think, just like you, we don't have toilet paper, we don't have hand sanitizer. That's like the first thing to go. Um, yeah, people are freaking out.
Right, and I just want to ask Aaron over where you're at. Um, how's the atmosphere over there now?
Well, it's pretty much still panicked. It's not quite as bad, I guess, since they're closing the schools and everything. But the good news is with closing the schools is that the children who needed the food from school, because that was the only meal they had, are still able to get that food to them. So that's a good thing. Um, um, well, and another good thing is too, up in Tennessee, the people who had hoarded the stockpile of hand sanitizers and other disinfectant stuff had like the 18,000 bottles or something, that it was found out that they had, hoarded all this stuff, and they're getting, investigated now, and people went to get the stuff from them that they were hiding in a storage unit and actually got it back to redistribute it. So I think that knowing that the price gougers are being held accountable now and they're not able to make a profit and their hoard is being redistributed is kind of easing up a little bit. The stores are still out of everything, but the store closings and being cleaned like Walmart now and everything is being restocked is helping a lot too. So that's getting a little bit better, but it's still pretty panicked too. So it's a little bit better than it was.
Well, that's good. Yeah, here we had unfortunately a family that was trying to do the same thing. They bought up a lot of stuff at Costco and they're hoarding, but since then there's been a petition that a lot of people have signed, and Costco is going to hopefully issue a lifetime ban to them. Because really, again, now is not the time to be hoarding things. We have to be there for our fellow citizen. Um, if we let fear consume us, and I know, believe me, because the last couple of days I've had waves of anxiety that have come and gone again. But um, we need to understand that if we let our fears take control, we are going to make lives harder, not just for ourselves, but for other people around us, and the medical professionals that are on the front lines right now, trying to battle this as best they can. So each of us needs to do our part, and on the individual level, that means just basic things that we really should have been doing from the start. Washing hands, not touching your face. And if you are feeling sick in the slightest, stay home. Do not go.
Yeah.
Do not go out. If you do go out, you're putting other people at risk. So please don't do that. If you want to go take a walk, you can, but be sure that social distancing, right?
Yeah.
But
I totally agree.
yeah,
I just wanted to also add that this is the medical professionals need the actual equipment because they're dealing with people who have already been tested positive. It is true that the virus, you can have the virus without any symptoms. So definitely stay home if you have any. You don't want to risk it, and just in general, people should keep their distance. It's the same idea as what you would do to prevent a cold or the flu. Cover your mouth. If you're going to sneeze or cough, don't be too close to people where you can get spit on or sneezed on. I think the government was suggesting a 6-foot parameter.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, is not asking a whole lot. Wash your hands, cover your mouth, be not gross, and just hang on. It's not the plague. It's not a death sentence. These are simple things. Things could be a lot worse. They will get worse, but they could potentially always get more difficult. And yeah, I mean, people who hoard this stuff and try to sell it at a higher rate is just like, yeah, not the time or the place for that. And also, like the cold or the flu, you can't catch it by touching things. And so gloves and covering your whole entire body, it's just unnecessary. And people actually need these gloves. You cannot get anything through touching, through the skin. You get it because we use our hands
really
so much on our face. And our face is very open to, susceptible to germs. So just keep your hands out of your face and make sure your home is clean. So when you get home, all you have to do is wash your hands, and then you can relax. And that's why they say just stay home. It's easier for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much why they say no handshaking and stuff is not because you can catch it through the skin, but because you have the T-zone in your face where your hands go to your face, your eyes, nose, and mouth. So it's not necessarily that you're catching it through the skin, it's that you're constantly touching your face. So if you can avoid that and wash your hands after you shake a hand or something, then that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's great to hear that other people have the common sense that not panicking. I'm more afraid of just the damage of this panic. We're still getting supplies. There's businesses are not going to stop making food or manufacturing produce for us and sending them to the grocery stores. We're going to have all of these things. We just need to chill out for a minute. It's really just that simple. We need to separate ourselves, and that's all they're asking. It could really be different. So it's like an airport thing. But yeah, it's also something that we should all be concerned of, not just people with the risk factor. People without the risk factor have also gotten sick, and some, a very, very, very small amount, have passed. Nobody is invincible. But there are people who we know will get very ill and affected by this, and we need to protect them. There's no excuse for being so selfish and careless. Why?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think what people would like to know too is how what you're doing to remain calm, how you're killing time.
Oh, oh well, a couple years ago, I broke my leg. So
Hello?
Did we lose her?
I think we lost her.
Oh, no. Well, that's not good.
She'll be back. She probably
Okay.
pressed the wrong button.
Okay.
Um,
So we know how I spend my time. How are you spending your time?
well, for me, you know, I'm trying, I've got my gaming going on. I'm trying to, you know, take up writing. I had a story that I was working on a while back, but I never got around to finishing it. And, you know, now this has given me the perfect opportunity to.
Yes. Perfect time to finish it. Or
Yeah.
at least, you know, get the majority of it done.
Oh, now she is calling back. Give me 1 second and I'll add her in.
Okay.
Sorry, folks.
Technical difficulties.
Yes, but it happens, you know.
Hi, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Welcome back.
My mom was video messaging me. Anyway.
Oh,
So I think I was telling you like some activities to do.
Yeah, you starting with you had broken your leg a few years ago.
Yeah, so I got very crafty with my indoor activities, or got familiar with things that I normally wouldn't think of. Right now I am cleaning out my closet. It's springtime, and I feel like doing a little spring cleaning. Clears my mind and is, I don't know, doing something productive. Doing puzzles. If you have work, you can do it. If you can do it online, but if you're totally stuck at home, yeah, you can find amazing movies online. You can discover new channels on YouTube. You can rent games and movies on Amazon. You can think about some hobbies that you have. What can you do inside? I love to draw personally, so that is an excellent indoor activity. They're simple things, but they're activities that you can do inside better than.
Sam, the internet's not on?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And talking to friends on Skype or video chat.
Absolutely. Great pastime.
How are you guys, feeling about your parents or your loved ones that might have the risk?
Well, I just had a conversation with my mom earlier today about that because she has severe asthma and COPD. So I had talked to her and suggested that it would make me personally feel better if she didn't leave the house anymore, at least for a little while, because there's no telling how many people might be carriers and not know it and be asymptomatic, but be able to give it to her. And she agreed. She said she would feel comfortable too if she just went ahead and stayed at home, just in case. Not necessarily, panicked about it, but just to be on the safe side, which I think it's important to realize that being cautious is different from being panicked. And so that's just what we're doing right now, and that's how we're dealing with it. So
yeah, and for me, I've told my mom to stay home. Definitely don't go out. and obviously, to keep her hands away from her face and just being on top of washing her hands. And, you know, we're being very mindful, but we're also, enjoying being at home. We can watch our shows and, talk and hang out, and it's kind of, it's relaxing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I was just going to say, I think being an introvert and being a homebody is kind of beneficial right now because this is pretty much what you do anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I am missing going to the gym, but really, people, if you're out there and you like working out, you can work out other places. The gym is the last place you want to be at right now. Really, we're trying to contain the spread as much as possible. And from what I understand, they have started the first human trial already. Phase 1 is underway. So they had a group, I believe, people from the age of 18 up through, I think, 60. And there's a group of maybe 20 or so people. But they're going to be closely monitoring them, and they have various levels of dosages that they're going to give these people. So, just keep that in mind. Okay, don't assume that nothing is being done. There are people out there that are working overtime to fight this. So, have faith in that. Don't try not to focus on the doom and gloom. Don't resign yourself to the notion that things are going to get better.
Look at how many people are in China. Like 1 billion, 1 point something billion people, and their numbers for the amount of people that were tested positive, I think it was. Oh, I have to look again. The number is a tiny fraction or a tiny percentage of the population. Currently infected 96,000 people out of 1 billion. I think that speaks to what we can do if we contain this thing. If we keep those numbers low, then the percentage of, because there is about an 8%. Well, these numbers, I don't know. You can't go exactly what they say, but you can really trust what they say.
Yeah,
you can get an idea of the numbers though by looking at China.
The other thing I think is important to mention is that people have recovered. Like Eliza said, this is not a death sentence. So you can recover from this.
I'm seeing a 92% chance recovery, or it's not even chance, but this 92% of recorded cases have recovered.
Let me see, there you go. And I know things are different now. Our society pretty much changed overnight, but we still have ways to communicate with one another, and our country will get back on its feet. Believe in that.
Yeah.
Trust in that. Think of how many horrible things our nation has gone through in its history, and we've all come out of it. We've made it through each time, and this will be no different. So,
well, not just here in the States, but also around the world.
Yeah.
Humanity,
and we're all people with feelings, and we have to remember and treat each other how we want to be treated ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, and now is the time for love and positivity more than ever.
Mhm.
You know, it is important to stay informed, but again, do not let that be your singular focus because that will overwhelm you. Just be with family, call your friends. Because for me that helps greatly. I love
Same here.
I love hearing the voice of other people that I care about and that I love. That's one of the
Yeah,
ways.
same here.
That's one of the things that's been helping me get through
Yeah.
this. So
Well,
Absolutely.
I was going to say, I just remember too, talking about things to do. There's a lot of businesses. I think the Metropolitan Opera House is doing a free streaming of operas, and then museums around the world are giving out free virtual tours. A lot of streaming services are actually, having new or giving some kind of breaks on their platforms, and then a lot of other colleges and stuff are giving classes so you can learn things virtually and online and everything. So I mean, if anything else, take up a virtual class and they're offering them for free and everything, or listen to an opera or go on a virtual museum tour. Do something like that.
Great.
mm-hmm.
Or if you need a job, protect your resume. Well, you can get a whole bunch of stuff done. And there's also on museum websites. Before this, they've always had photographs of, like, let's say the Whitney Museum, like an art museum. They have a lot of photographs of their inventory, so you can also explore things that aren't on display or featured in the museums that you wouldn't see otherwise.
Oh, and I would also like to give a PSA. Pets are not affected, so you do not have to surrender your pets. So please do not do that.
Yeah, please don't. Well, I mean, it's unfortunate. We've already seen instances of animals being abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
They require love as well.
Yeah.
They're part of your family.
And if you want something to do, if you need something to do, this is a great time to take in a foster dog, adopt a pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to make new friends.
Yeah, and as stated before, you can still walk them. You can go to the park. Just be mindful.
My dog is keeping me sane.
Yeah, you see, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can go to the park, but just be mindful. Don't, if there's like handrails there, try not to use the handrails. And if you have to open a gate, try using your elbow to do it. Just little things that we are going to have to train ourselves to do now. But we can.
And when you get home, wash your hands.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, and it's not hopeless. It's not hopeless. Just keep that in mind.
And also, they say that washing your hands with soap, because it's much more intensive than just putting Purell on your hands. Hand sanitizer is the soap and water is the best method to get all the germs off your hands.
Yeah, because I think they were saying with the hand sanitizer, it needs to be at least 60% alcohol in it to do any good.
Yeah.
So if you do want to use hand sanitizer, make sure it has at least 60% alcohol in it. Otherwise, it will not work. But soap and water work better than anything. So
yeah,
you don't necessarily need hand sanitizer.
And you can also
don't spray your kids or your pets with hand sanitizer.
No, definitely don't do that. That's a good way to get them to the hospital.
And we can't have that either.
Exactly.
If you are only very, very sick, then go to the hospital. But if you're okay, they don't have beds, so
yeah. Because if you if you are symptomatic, or you are sick, call, your primary care physician or urgent care of a hospital prior to going, because they need to know so that you're not sitting out in the waiting room.
Yeah.
So if you do go to the hospital when you're symptomatic, please do to get help, but you need to call beforehand.
Yeah.
Very important. Yeah.
And
And donate if you have extra masks, extra gloves, extra hand sanitizers. Donate to your local hospital.
Definitely.
yeah.
Use it.
And yeah, please do not hoard. That's that's not how we're gonna get through it. It's very. I know.
People trying to make money.
Yeah. I know it's very, very easy for fear to just move in and just occupy every area of your mind, because fear is toxic. We see it all the time. That's how wars start. That's how people die. That's how people lose friends. All this kind of stuff. It's all fear. And at one time, from an evolutionary standpoint, fear is a very important thing because it tells us when something is not okay and whether we should fight or flee. But now it's also taken on a emotional component, and the emotion of and the emotion of fear is it is poisonous. So keep that in mind. And I'm gonna keep trying to do this daily, and hopefully if it picks up, it might even become twice daily.
And if anyone has any questions, we would love some topics.
Yeah.
Please let us know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If you want us to, talk about anything, because really, what we want to do here is try and get people's mind off of all the negativity as much as possible. So, if you want to, talk about anything from, I don't know, pets, gaming, UFOs.
Somebody give me YouTube channels.
Now's a good time. And
we're looking to restore faith in humanity too.
Yes.
Make you happy to be human and
yes.
show that goodness still lives.
Yes. And there are good people out there, folks. There
definitely are.
Yeah.
There is good out there. So, remember that.
Stay calm.
Yeah. And I will be posting this on YouTube. I've also started posting it on SoundCloud. And also Podbean. So it's podbean.com/Unity Podcast, or the Unity Podcast. You can find it on there. And then on SoundCloud, same. My internet's down right now, so I can't. But I am going to be doing this quite a bit, and more people. I already have a couple more people that want to call in as well. So there's no real format for this. There's no real format for this. It's just going to be sort of maybe informal. Aside from the intro. So, yeah. And if you're on YouTube, my channel is Electric Panda 808, all one word. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. that would help greatly. Seeing
And
as
share.
yes, and share it, get the word out there. Especially since we're all going to be working from home now. It seems like,
Mm-hmm.
and we
Yeah.
We're all in the same position.
yeah,
Well, not
and
exactly, but we're all in this together.
yeah,
Exactly.
and we all need to. I understand that some people might be uncomfortable with the prospect of sort of, I guess, looking for charity, but now is not the time to be ashamed about that. We all
No.
know that we've had to make that this means making sacrifices now. So
There's no shame in asking for help, regardless of what that help is.
yes,
Yes. You'd be surprised.
yeah,
People are very kind.
Yeah, they are.
yeah. So if you can, share it, spread the word. The podcast on SoundCloud is under United World, I believe, or the Unity Podcast, all one word, / SoundCloud.com / so just
Oh wait, I have one more suggestion for this virus. Just like the flu and the cold, boost your immune system the way you normally would. Extra vitamin C, get sleep. Do not worry because that lowers your immune system, and just remain calm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. For me, what I've been doing too, speaking on that, it's a good thing you brought it up. I have smoothie stuff, so like frozen bags of fruit. I have protein powders, things like that. So if any of you have
You're
those,
getting a lot of vitamin C.
yes, and if any of you have those, that is an excellent way to maintain not just your immune system but your metabolism as well. It'll help flush things out. It'll keep you strong, and if people are trying to ration their food but they do have protein powders, use that to maybe try and curve your food supply. But these are just suggestions.
We might be a little dry for a couple weeks because people went ham in the grocery store and on Amazon, but we will be getting more food.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and also I wanted to add too. I was reading earlier today where they were saying that pharmacies are allowing doctors are allowing pharmacies to refill maintenance medication ahead of time throughout March. So if do not think you have to ration your medication, because you do not. If it's a maintenance medication, call your doctor, call your pharmacy, ask them, can I go ahead and get this filled, get your medication refilled, and, take your medication, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Informed.
We're all in this together, folks. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
So.
And there's a lot of people, a lot of companies, small mom and pop, even big corporations that are helping.
Yeah.
The consumer. So there's a lot of help out there. Like I said, don't be ashamed to ask for it because it is available and it is there.
Yes.
And it's going to be okay.
Exactly. And one other thing, the worst thing that you can do right now is point fingers. Do not attack other people because of their ethnicity. Viruses.
No type of racism. Exactly.
Viruses do not have any boundaries. So we're all affected by this. And that's one of the things that me personally, I've been unhappy with the some of the media about. Some people have been talking about, well, if this is a Chinese thing, like, it's China's fault, blah blah blah.
the name of it
Do-
is COVID-19.
Yes,
Referred to it that way.
yes. Do not.
Yeah, actually, coronavirus means a respiratory infection in general.
Yeah.
Like,
Because there's like 7 or 8 different actual coronaviruses, and this one has a specific name of like COVID-19.
Yes,
So coronavirus or COVID-19, refer to it that way, but it is not the Chinese virus. It
yes,
is not that. It's no type of racism.
yeah,
it does not discriminate. It will infect. It
yes.
doesn't care.
We're
Exactly.
we are one planet. We're all that we've got. We're one planet. So do not fall into this. Do not fall into this.
Nope.
Keep that in mind. You'll be okay. Be loving to your
And you're not alone. Connect with your family and your friends.
yes.
Yeah.
And I will be if anyone is interested. I will be giving my Skype to those who message me either on SoundCloud or YouTube. I believe has a messaging service. Or just leave it on my on the discussion page under my YouTube channel, and I'll contact you either with Skype or I can send you my personal number if you feel comfortable calling in. You do not have to use your full name or even your real name. We just want people to feel connected right now. So, thanks for listening in. And yeah, stay safe, guys.
Thank you, guys. And
Thank you for a conversation. Definitely, it was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Call my mom next.
Yep. And
Yeah,
And I'll speak to you guys tomorrow, or we'll touch base.
We'll-
Figure it out.
will do.
All right. Love you guys.
All right. Love you
love
too.
you. Wash your hands. Bye.
Bye. Bye.